Hello and welcome. This is Tiffany from Sage Online, and today we're going to take a brief look at resources available in Moodle 3.10 and how we can get them added to our course homepage. Let's get started. So first, we're at our course homepage. We can navigate there from our dashboard and by clicking My Courses in Progress and then navigating over to the name of our course and clicking that. So we're in Sage 203, and to get our editing buttons on, we're going to click the green button. If your screen's a little wider, it'll read Turn Editing On. So I'm going to click that. Okay. And from here, we can click Add an Activity or a Resource. If you have any regular use items, they'll show up here, or you can select all, or we can drill over here to Resources, and these are the types that we can use. The commonly used items that we have here at Sage are File and Folder. Those will work together. And then we also have a Label, a Page, which can hold all of these items, and then a URL. So let's take a look at each item. A file can be anything from a PDF, a Word doc, an Excel, to a general image. We will add this item by giving it a name. If you want a description, you can add it here, and then click here to add that description on the course homepage if you'd like. And then we can add those items by dragging and dropping into this box here, or you can click here to then search for the item. We click Upload a File, find the file in the file picker, and you can choose from here. I'm just going to choose a PDF here, click Open, and then we can click Upload this file, and the file shows up here. And when we're all set, we can select Save and Return to Course, and then we have our sample file here. Now this icon will change based on the type of file that's added. I'm going to pause, add a couple more files so you can see what those look like. Excellent. So we've added each type of these files, and I wanted to show you just quickly how we can move those around. So we have a four-way arrow here because we have editing on. We can move those up and down by clicking on, holding, and dragging where we'd like to go. We can also click one time, press, and then move it based on the wording here. So if I wanted it to go after file sample, it would go here based on where I've typed it. And then also if the wording is incorrect on your resource, we would click the pencil and then retype the word that we'd like. So this was actually a PDF sample, and then I'm going to click return or enter, and then the wording changes. So that is the basics of that, the file. And then, so let's take a look at a folder. So we're going to click Add an Activity or Resource again. And then we're going to look at resources and then a folder. So a folder is essentially a place to hold multiple files. So I'm just going to type in the name here. If you want to add the description, we can do that here, and then of course put it on the course homepage. Now this resource has the opportunity to have multiple levels. So if we wanted to add a new folder in here and create multiple places, we could click this and then create a new folder name. We could add a new space in here and then add files underneath that as well. And then we could see those areas and then just click to where you want those files to be added. And we can see it in different ways as well. Just by clicking the options. So I'm in folder 1, I can pop up here to go into the files, and then I just want to add a new folder, but you can also delete from here too. So we can delete that. So let's, we can start our files again. We can either drag and drop in here or select the files one at a time. So I'm going to go ahead and grab them from over here, and I'm just going to go ahead and drop them in here, and then multiple files are in my folder here. And then down below here, we're going to choose how they show. So on a separate page, once we click the folder, it'll open up a new page in Moodle for those files to show, or we can have it show on our course homepage. We can also have it set for any subfolders expanding, showing a download folder button so that everything downloads at the same time. And we can also force download of the files too. So if anything shows as a PDF, it will have it download instead of show in the screen. So all these settings are fine for me. I'm going to go ahead and save and return to the course so we can see what that looks like. So this is our folder sample. We can click on it, and then that is our new and fresh page. So all of these items right here, we would click on one and it shows up as a new download. Same thing for our files. When we click on them, they'll download here. Your downloads might show up separately, so wherever they would go is where you want to look for anything as a file as you click on it. Same for your students. You can also download the whole folder by clicking here. It'll show up as a zip file in your downloads. But let's get back to our course and continue with the rest of our resources. Okay, so we're back on the course homepage. And now back on our resources, let's add a label. So a label is simply that. It's text that we can add to the page to separate materials or to provide information. So let's add something as simple as labeling that these are our resources. So I've just typed the text. You can use your editor here. All of these buttons are available to you. You can highlight and change it to bold, italics, underline, any of these items. If you've got a long list of resources you'd like to add, a lot of instructions, whatever you wanted to change, the typing, anything like that. Okay, and as we scroll down, this is our new label. Our labels can also, with the rest of our Moodle materials, move right or left for your view. We can also hide them from our students and show them again. We can duplicate if we really like this title and want to move it down to our next section, and move them as well like we did before and separate our materials out. Okay, and let's move on to the next. Okay, we then have a page. A page works somewhat like the folder. The page will go into a separate set in Moodle. We will label it. In here we also have a description area. We can put that on the course homepage as well. But here we have content. So this can be text that we add. And we can also add what we will see next as a URL. So if you have a YouTube video that you'd like your students to see, you can add that link here and then have it show up in a separate window. Click the link. So that's a new link that's in here. You can also, if you have images you wanted to show, you can add them here. But that's all here. And then once we save and display, we can see what that looks like. And so this would be what any materials that we've added to our page. And I'll show you what that icon looks like as well. This is our page sample. And again, what we would click in is this here. Okay, we're going to go back one more time and let's take a look at a URL. We're going to click resources and URL. And this is one of our last videos that we had been creating as we change over to Moodle 310. I'm just going to grab that URL. I clicked share and copy when it pulled up to grab it. And then from there, I'm going to go back to then clicking Command V. You can also click right click and then paste both are the same. And then URL sample is what we're adding. Again, you can label it whatever you'd like. It's completely up to you, it's your course. And then you can add a description if you'd like, and then display that in the course homepage. If you don't display it on the course page, this description doesn't exist anywhere but for you. And from here we can save and course. Okay, excellent. And now our URL sample is available for us now, and we can click on this. And as the page refreshes, the video should play and we will be all set.
Hello and welcome. This is Tiffany.
And we are all set. Excellent. So then I will go ahead and navigate back to Moodle. And that is a review of resources available in Moodle 3.10. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us at 518-244-4580 or Sage Online at sage.edu. Thank you so much and happy teaching!